Good evening and welcome back to Let's Play Technobabylon. When we left off last time, we were messing around in the Fulcrum Tower trying to stop Galatea from reprogramming Central. So, Central does want Galatea stopped, and I'm feeling between that and other factors that I talked about last episode, that it makes me well decided that that's the right course to take here. I do think it's interesting, all of these Regis sisters here. Like, Galatea... It's hard for me... I have a bunch of sisters, and I was raised with them. So for me, it's like, I don't know, sisters are... I feel like I would want to know my sister if I were Latha here, or if I were Galatea. I would want to know these people who are related to me, who are actually exactly genetically identical to me. Sisters mean a lot to me, but that's coming from the perspective of someone who was raised with sisters. I don't know, I wonder with Latha, like, does she care? Is she curious about Galatea or not really? I mean, she's always been on her own, assuming she was a war orphan. Maybe she's being her whole life like that. Maybe she doesn't really care about family. And the same with Galatea. Like, maybe she's just not really interested in getting to know Latha. I mean, Central, I was kind of thinking like, yeah, Central's our sister too, but Central's like, no, I was just made from the cells of the the embryo. So that, yeah, I'm like part of the remains. It sounds like, for some Central's point of view, her relation to the embryo she came from is pretty much the same as if, like, if I were to donate a kidney to somebody, and then my kidney's in their body, but it doesn't make them, like, in any way me, even though, you know, the whole of my DNA would be contained within that kidney, because the whole of our DNA is contained within all of our cells, but still, they're not me in any way. They're their own individual. And that's how Central seems to feel. That she's a separate individual. Not really any connection to the embryo besides basically those donor cells, I guess you would call them. So, I don't know. It's some interesting dynamics going on here. Right now, I think we need to... Let's try being Lao. Because I really like Lao. So.
Central's inorganic framework. Wow.
You planning on asking for an...
No, go mess with it.
I better not touch it. I might risk harming Central.
Alright. Or not. Actually, let's...
Dr. Lau, operational update as follows. You must gain access to the Cortex processor at the top of the tower.
Yep.
In addition, there is a 65% chance that Dr. Regis is working towards anti-civil objectives with outside parties.
You hear that, Regis?
Keep an eye on him. Lau out.
Alright, so she probably wants to go up, I'm guessing. Oh, what's down the... Oh, oh, that sound effect. That was really horrible. All juicy as we squish that body some more. Blah. Alright, what do we got going on here? Well, we've got a dead guy.
This could be useful.
She's very fond of high-powered weapons. The body of one of the remaining strike team members. Apparently cell officers managed to bring him down. Good for them. Now then, to the turbine room, eh? So what do we got going on in... You! No? Bummer. Oh, we're totally gonna get him. Okay, let's try to talk to him. Mounting a desperate last line of defense. You're uncertain how long the mindjacker can hold out for. I actually don't really want to explode him. I would rather take him in for questioning, but...
Throw down your weapon. Come out with your hands raised.
I don't recognize you. Which one are you?
I'm Dr. Lau. I'm the one who gave you the synthetic beatdown. You gonna surrender?
Nah. I've got a reputation to maintain.
So be it.
Besides, this is my biggest shot at getting back at Regis.
You don't even actually care about that, you fool. It's just the personality loaded onto you. Alright, come here, you.
Hi there. Hey, Latha.
Well, okay.
It's a drone that runs back and forth.
Well, come over to me.
Hi there. Hey, Latha.
Okay, so we gotta be Latha. Send that drone over. Okay, where do we control the drone from? Okay. So, okay, yeah, we're gonna want to get it to him. But first... There we go. Alright. This is wonder. We're gonna... we're gonna ferry a grenade over to him.
Hi there. Hey, Latha.
Oh. Hang on to that for me, will you, bud? You pull the pin, then carefully place the grenade into the drone's storage. Excellent. Now then. Now. What am I doing? I don't... I'm making this unnecessarily complicated, right? Can't it just go over? Really? Can we get... But there's not going to be another grenade, is there? Maybe there's another one on the body. Oh, don't tell me I bungled it. Oh,
This could be used.
Excellent. Alright. Let's try that again. Be very careful there, Lau. Good grief. Okay. Now then. So, yeah, we do have to do all these shenanigans. So then. Yeah, I don't like it. It's always just been sucked off into the nether before. Oh, well.
Regis?
What do you mean, Regis? It was Lau, you... Okay, tell me Lau got... Yeah.
That was close.
But you did it. Okay. What, is he completely down? She didn't kill him, did she? She did have this scalpel on her.
Nah, we'll have plenty of time for that in the compliance suite itself. Now all he gets out of this is one hell of an identity crisis.
Okay, so I'm assuming he's not dead. Alright. This is what we really want. The systems for controlling the allocation of power and security, guarded by the Mindjacker until Galatea can finish her mission. Not any longer, though. So then... Enable access, not to freaking Nina.
Thank you. I am beginning the process of removing the scrambler on the server room door.
Excellent.
I have removed the scrambler.
That was fast.
Partial access restored. We are one step closer to restoring continuity to civic processes.
Well, excellent. Alrighty. I don't think we need to hang around here anymore, do we? Nope. Central's already been given access to the security system and broken the scrambler on the door, so let's head out. We can take her to the Apex, and then pop back and see what kind of access this gives Latha now. Let's grab another grenade in case. Can't hurt.
This could be useful.
Alright, up we go.
Central's in.
You planning on...
Are you really asking me that from like 2 stories down, Regis? Alright, and we can't get in here yet, right? The door at the top of the processor tower apparently leads to Central's logic center. According to the lights above the door, the locks preventing your access are active. Yep, one's removed, but we got 2 more bits to go through. So, let's see what you can do. Haha. Alright, well, let's back out of this. I'd almost feel sorry for the Mindjacker, because he's getting pulled into a vendetta that isn't even his own. But, you know, this is all happening because He's the horrible sort of person who rips people's minds from their body and kills them, so can't really be sympathetic to him. How's it going, sis? Well, not sis.
Central?
Good evening, Latha.
Can you do anything else to help us stop Galatea?
She appears to have barricaded herself within the Cortex. There are 3 layers of
Okay, this is the
security.
same.
However, I can apply my considerable
That's amazing. The power of this
but as my connections
sounded to...
if extra power can be routed to my systems from the turbine room,
Which we did.
It would also allow me to prevent.
Alright,
Let me get back to...
Please.
nothing
try
new
not
there.
to-
To the data shunt. I do like that the game gives you so many options to help out these other parties, though. We could have helped Jinsel, we could have helped Nina. I have curiosity about Jinsel. I still want to know exactly who she is, but I still can't get in here? Bummer. She doesn't really have anything to... What do we got here? Pop group seeks asylum. The popular boy band Euphonics, currently on a world tour including Eurofed, Newton, and SoCal, have been sentenced to death in absentia by a court in their home state of Oklahoma. Well, and what were they sentenced to death for? The verdict, issued by the presiding judge, Pastor William Phipps of the Patriotic Tribunal Board, was given after accusations of treasonous conduct, blasphemy, and incitement to immorality on an unprecedented scale. Well, they set the ladies a-swoonin', huh? While not acting as part of the legal government of Oklahoma, currently occupied by Concord peacekeepers, the ruling by an influential community figure carries a great deal of weight with much of its population, making it no longer safe for the group to return. There is also a risk that fanatics may attempt to act on this judgment outside of their own territory. Currently in Newton on their second night, the group's management have apparently sought asylum arrangements with the city-state. Henry Temba, Newton's exterior minister, has confirmed that protection is being sought, stating that the city will not allow people to be forced to make a choice between free speech and their safety. We welcome these young men to our community and will continue to oppose the blatant hypocrisy still rife in the Concord. Some analysts suspect that the timing of the ruling intentionally coincided with Euphonics' world tour. No longer able to return, it is likely that their assets within Concord territory will be seized by state or warlord forces. Ooh. Interesting speculation. Okay, but that doesn't actually help us here. Well, dang, I thought that what Central was opening was this, but it seems like not. So what else can... There's got to be more that Latha can do for us. She's... Oh, she can pop out of the trance. Well, that could potentially be useful. I mean, I'm assuming that this is where we really need her to be, but maybe not. Alright, what's going on with this power conduit?
Power conduit Alpha. Temporary shutdown. Reactivation in 30 seconds.
Okay, but why do I want to do that? I'm not sure what it helps. Regis? Oh, well, that'll probably be handy. Hopefully you're the fella that needs that. Apparently, this man was a technician. You take his wrench. Was he a good guy that got squished or a bad guy? Most of this man's body has been crushed by the elevator platform. You're not sure whether he fell first, but the eventual result has rendered that point moot. Well, yeah. All that's left of the elevator's victim will only be of interest to the coroner. Alright, so we've got a wrench. What are we going to do with that? Is there anything we want in Vargas's office? Oh, possibly. Well.
The wetware in the bottle has apparently given me an eavesdropper in my skull.
Oh.
Nina, can you
Nina.
still hear me?
Charlie, you're in the tower.
Yes, How did you know?
We've had our people on the inside monitoring the situation. They reported that the Fulcrum Tower had come under attack.
Is there anyone else you haven't involved in your conspiracy yet?
No, she's
Their
pretty
goal
thorough.
was to set up the transceiver that would enable us to begin uploading Central to its new home.
Too bad.
We lost contact with them shortly afterwards, and we're not getting the handshake signal.
A team of engineers? I'm sorry to say it, Nina. Looks like she wiped out anyone in her path on the way to the top.
Damn, they must not have been able to get the antenna set up.
Nope, and I'm not doing it for you.
To do, Charlie. First, divert power to the transceiver systems from the generator room. Then make sure the antenna is set up for the transceiver.
We'll see.
No can do, Nina. Dr. Vargas.
Charlie, you must help us. I fear that Galatea's plans may compromise the city.
Yeah, I know.
There are going to be a lot of people angry about what's happened tonight. City disrupted again. Your daughter practically staging a coup. A whole lot of people will want to make sure you get what you deserve for what you've done, what you've led this city into.
Including Central herself.
Regis, please, surely an educated man such as yourself wouldn't resort to threats like that.
Yes,
Oh,
I
no.
would.
I won't be among them. I've got 20 years of mistakes to fix. I sure as hell won't stop those people, though.
Yeah. He's got 2 daughters and 1... Well, I can't... I mean, Central was right. Thinking of her as one of his daughters, too, is romanticizing things. She's not. But he does have 2 daughters. Which is an interesting... Like, how is he going to reconcile... Okay, I think there's a possibility he might be able to patch things over with Latha. Because when he dangled the mom thing in front of her, that definitely caught her interest. And they started out with a severe misunderstanding, but they could potentially bridge that. I don't know how he could fix things with Galatea. I mean, I don't know. She seems like she doesn't really care. And maybe she doesn't. Let's see.
What you've done, it's not just an insult to me. It's a mockery of Vicky's memory.
I believe she would be proud of what
Don't
we
you
achieved,
dare.
Charlie. We have created an organic AI platform of unparalleled capacity. It is part of her, and not only because a great part of it is her own DNA.
You have no idea what she...
I know that she
Yeah.
was the one who suggested using her fertilized
But
embryos.
for him to
She
say this...
saved the project, Charlie. This is her legacy.
But Charlie discussed it with her, and it is Charlie's choice as well. So together, they decided not to put the embryos in it. You don't get to go past that after the fact. I mean, he's got a point. Maybe... Because Viksha... She was on board with giving her embryos there, and she only took them out, not because of a moral obligation to it being her embryos, but just because Charlie was upset. She possibly would be happy with the outcome, but really that's beside the point. The decision was made to take them out. Legally and ethically, he can't go behind their backs and put them back in.
Dr. Zhang sends her regards.
Aha! So your presence is Nina's work.
No, I figured
You
this
know,
out on my own.
She was instrumental in acquiring your embryo.
Oh, I know.
If you feel the need to lay blame, she is just as much responsible as I.
Maybe she helped take them initially. It wouldn't surprise me. She's not very scrupulous if she can help it. But by continuing to use them for 20 years, you've taken responsibility for this.
I would lay the blame at both of them, Regis, and that would be just fine. But that's interesting. If you feel like you must lay blame, if you feel like you must disperse blame, come on.
A rational person might be able to look at you taking our embryos. He might see it as nothing too extreme, something that could be overlooked, forgiven. But you didn't just experiment on tissues. You brought them to term. You kidnapped my children.
But in the long term, it was for the greater good of the
Oh, that's really
And
debatable.
even worse, you can't even see what you did was wrong.
Charlie,
Cram it, you twisted old lunatic.
Yeah, really, Regis, there's nothing we're gonna gain from talking to him. I can go back to the aerostat? Huh.
Sorry, Doc. They got past after I ran out of bullets. Took 3 of them, though.
I wonder what this...
Yeah, it's helium. I'm just wondering, since we can go back here, if there's something we want to do here. No. Maybe not. It seems like most of what we'd want to do would be in Fulcrum Tower. Okay, we cannot go back down the hatch. But it's interesting that we can go into this room. Alright, make sure I don't touch any of that nonsense. You know what? You pop on down here. Can you interface with Central?
My God. They actually did it.
Yep. Alright, that's the same as before.
I'm not certain, but based on its connections to the organic circuitry, it's probably an interface system.
Well, go interface.
No way in hell I'm getting in that thing.
Oh, come on.
I'm not certain.
Okay.
No way in... I ran tests on the prototypes for this stuff in the lab. I never thought they'd make so much of it. I've had enough of this stuff.
Alright, so he hates this room. Does he want to smack this with a wrench? No. Alright, let's get you out of here. I kind of want to bring Lau down here just to see if she can, but I have a feeling that's Lotha's room. No, I didn't mean to. I actually wanted to call the elevator. Alright. This sound effect is gonna get me every time. Squish! Alright, I'm kind of scared to have him even go in this room, because I don't think there's anything that we want him to do in here, but...
It might be useful. Call it a hunch.
Yeah, let's give everyone a grenade. There's this fella.
He's not Baxter, and despite what he's done, he needs help.
True.
Better not. He might end up having an accident if I have to spend much longer with him.
Any thoughts on these platforms? System of moving platforms, apparently for shifting drones into the different levels of conduits running through the building. The platforms aren't manually controlled. Oh, power supply, eh? The power systems were apparently able to reroute themselves, though that brief moment helped you stop the minejacker. Okay. I think I shouldn't touch anything in here as Regis, because I'm very concerned that will inadvertently aid Nina. But there's nothing for him to do up on the next level.
I wouldn't know where to start.
Alright. And I'll go up there anyhow. Oh, it's... wrong button. The elevator's already there. Okay, this is just central, and there's nothing he can do with her. Can you slap your wetware on central? Do it.
Wetware's not going to connect with that.
Alright. And we can't get in there. Alright, let's... Do I want to leave him up here? Maybe. We'll try it. Alright, down we go. All the way, please. Alright, and you hop in here. Although I want you to talk to Dr. Vargas as well. So.
Wow, talk about organic computing.
What are your thoughts
The
on all this?
organic component of Central's mind. I wonder if Regis has realized that this matter probably shares a lot of DNA with him. I have no idea where to begin. Biologicals are Regis's thing.
They are, aren't they? He won't interface with her. But perhaps something with the biological that he could do.
I'm hesitant to guess, since I've only heard of them academically, but this looks like a neural interfacing terminal. The kind used before everyone was wired, anyway.
Well, let's try it out.
I'd want to run a diagnostic before trying that.
Oh, come on, you'd be fine. Wetware with it.
Wetware's not going to connect with that. Wetware's not...
I want it to connect with something. Alright, yeah, this room is totally for Lotha. No one else is going to do anything with it. This probably won't work either, but I'm gonna try smooshing my wetware on the screen.
Wetware's not...
No? Alright. Alright, let's you and I talk.
Dr. Vargas?
Ah, Dr. Lau. It is good to see someone remaining level-headed amidst this crisis.
Oh, don't get me wrong. What was done to Regis and to these kids was appalling. But right now, my responsibility as a cell agent is to ensure the city's security and by extension, Central.
So,
Regis is on the warpath.
Poor Charlie. I wish he didn't have to find out about Central's true nature.
if you'd never lied to
In a
him,
way,
then it
it's
wouldn't have been a
ironic.
problem.
He's hated Central for years.
It reminded him of what happened. He saw it as a product born of Viksha's demise.
And now he knows that you kept using his embryos. You couldn't have just asked?
You might be aware, but the modification of embryos is a sensitive subject for Charlie. With time, he might have been brought around with reason.
But after what Baxter did...
It became more about Vicky than the embryos. At least, despite this, we were able to succeed with the best course for the city.
You know, maybe if you guys had tried harder, you could have found different embryos. It really doesn't seem like it would have been that difficult.
What does Galatea plan on doing? First, she hires a professional to steal the mind states of experts around the world. Now she's secured herself in the cortical processor at the top of the tower.
Dr. Regis surmised correctly. She plans to reshape Central's nature to her liking. A small grace is that her actions come not from a lust for power.
Yeah.
I'm no AI specialist. What can she change about Central?
In its current format, Central is an adaptive system. It will learn from experience and apply that experience to future decisions.
Is that really necessary in its job? Doesn't it just need to allocate resources and carry out the Council's orders?
Essentially, yes. But if that were already required, any other coordinator AI could be used. It may take many years, but Central will develop a character unique to Newton's needs.
But Galatea wasn't happy with this.
It was a debate we often had. She believed that Central needed to be better equipped for its role.
Maybe.
Apparently, she's decided to take hundreds of years' worth of expertise from around the world, by force.
I think we kind of know why she'd want this, but we'll
But
keep
why
with it.
storm the control center like this? She works here. She's practically in charge of Central after you.
Because of our disagreement, she knew I would never agree to her viewpoint. It may be many years before I am gone.
She thought she needed to act sooner, rather than later.
Before Central becomes unduly contaminated by its own experience.
Well, I suppose, considering, she killed people from around the world, you should be grateful, Vargas, that she chose not to just kill you to get you out of the way. It would have made things easier for her.
She's barricaded herself in the cortical processor. Triply redundant security. Do you have a way in?
If she has secured it herself, likely she has removed my credentials. The door's physical security systems are dependent upon outside power, however.
Yeah?
If we powered it down, we could get in?
A part of its security would be compromised,
Okay.
certainly. Within the trunk tower and the neural processor are the power conduits. If one is disabled, the other ensures continued energy flow to the security systems, a safety measure.
But if we can cut both at the same time...
Okay, that's what we gotta do then.
Worst case scenario, Galatea imprints this new personality upon Central. What are the implications? Aside from the legal headache of it having come from dozens of victims.
There is no telling how this new Central would behave. What parts of the personality she has deemed important to use, we do not know.
Couldn't we remove it afterwards?
Something with a certain degree of life experience may take measures to defend its existence.
Yeah.
Even if we were to simply remove it from the organic processors, we would be left with nothing.
There aren't any backups to restore from?
Dr. Lau, there is nothing like Central in existence. Its existence is dependent upon its constant activity, much like the human brain.
Great. So it would be Galatea Central or none.
But that's interesting that he says something that suddenly has all that life experience would maybe take measures to defend itself. Central's already trying to take measures to defend herself. She doesn't want this change to happen.
I haven't seen any other cell corpsmen. Live ones. Has support been called?
Yes, but I'm afraid that security barriers are preventing their access.
Galatea.
She has sealed the upper section of the tower, cutting us off.
Cell will probably be organizing dropships to bring them in from above.
Quite so. We will probably see reinforcements soon, but
Not soon
Might
enough.
just have enough time to complete her plan. Looks like it's up to us, for now.
Alrighty.
Nina Jiang, a former colleague of yours, may be involved.
so I have heard. She has been quiet for so many years.
Plotting in the
After
background.
Central was born, she and I disagreed about its future.
As the coordinator for the city?
I wish to keep it as such. I can think of no better place for it to have the access it does to learn, to better itself.
And Nina had other ideas.
She claims to have seen potential for it elsewhere. She desired access to its organic matrix, that which makes it what it is.
Can't you just copy it? Let her have an iteration?
No.
Such a project would be destructive to the original. There can only be one Central.
From what I've heard, she's having another crack at getting her hands on it.
She has become deluded. She thinks of herself as an estranged parent. But without support from within, she will not receive the access she requires to carry out such a plan.
Well, not that we want to help you, but rest assured we're not going to be helping her for sure, so. What makes me feel good about all this is Central saying that once it's all said and done, there's going to be legal action taken. So, you'll get yours, buddy.
Dr. Vargas, I believe in Newton. I've lived in this city my entire life, and it's been good to me.
That is encouraging to hear. A sentiment I hope many other citizens share.
While I believe that Central is a key part of this city, revelations about its origins are troubling. My job is to ensure that it continues. My ultimate loyalty is therefore to Cell and to Newton, not to Central or to yourself, no matter your role in making it what it is today.
I understand, Dr. Mao. Thank you for your honesty.
Alrighty.
I'll try to keep you updated.
So then, we need to be in the neural processor room, and then he said what, in the trunk? Where's the trunk of the tower? So we know the neural processing one, that's that 30-second one that I've been messing around with. Turbine room, but does this count as like the trunk of it? Yeah, that power junction that Regis was looking at, that's what it is. The power supply right
That's
here.
not possible.
What do you mean it's not possible? Scout billet. No, it might be Regis though, because he's got the wrench. Okay. You go all the way to the top. Is that what I want to do? I don't think so. Maybe. Okay, Lau, you just hang out on the elevator for a minute. We'll try the wrench on that power junction. Alright. Go smack it a good one.
I can't figure that out.
What? What are you talking about? Well,
I can't reach it.
you gotta find a way to reach it then. Ah.
Nah.
Come on. Maybe Latha, she's really good at just smacking things and breaking them. I don't think we can jolt it. Oh, I did want to see what happens if, Regis calls Central.
Dr. Regis, it is reassuring that you have decided to resume contact. You must gain access to the Cortex processor at the top of the tower.
Working on it.
Eduardo Vargas must not be allowed to carry out her anti-civil plans. Central out.
Business-like as ever.
Alrighty. I really thought the wrench was going to be the way to go here. I don't know what else we can do to reach that. The controls... Okay, let's... What can I do with the control systems? No. Nothing. That's probably for the best. So, dang it, power supply. Alright. What am I doing here? Yeah. Get out of here. You go talk to Vargas, because I do want to see what kind of conversations you can have. Also, there probably won't be much of anything, but what does the turret have to say to her now? Chantel?
Sorry, Doc.
Nope, always the same. Okay, can she?
The wetware won't form.
Alright. And she can't pop into the trance from here. Okay. Alright, you.
Yeah, he seems kind of creepy.
He does.
My word, you look exactly like her.
Well, yeah, I'm her
I should
clone.
not be surprised, I suppose.
They told me I came from an embryo. From your experiments with Central. Why did you make 2 of us?
We could not be certain that the neural tissue structuring would succeed initially. In that case, we needed more than one in order to make a second attempt.
But then once things was, I mean, you took her all the way to term. You weren't gonna like gouge cells out of her once she was all the way like a fully viable baby, were you?
Wait, I'm spare parts?
Fortunately, the modified tissue worked perfectly. We were therefore left with 2 modified embryos.
Me and the other one.
I realized that I could not be Central's caretaker forever. Eventually, I would need a successor, and there, a perfect opportunity.
Well, why not raise both of us then?
And what about me? Why dump me in an orphanage?
I have faith in the city, Latha. I knew that, raised by Newton and by Central, you would be shaped into an ideal of humanity.
Apparently you've been up in your tower for too long.
Yeah, come on,
You've
man.
got no idea what it's like down there.
Ah, Latha, you look just like her.
But you're really hung up on that, aren't you? You split one embryo. Of course we're gonna look just like each other.
You raised one of us as your own to replace you? Looks like you've got a real winner on your hands.
Galatea is so creative, so intelligent. Central is long-term work, almost art.
Looks like your special little girls had other plans.
Haha.
Galatea and I have had philosophical disagreements over Central's nature. I have set her up with the finest things the city had to offer, to give Central the best caretaker possible for the future.
And now you get a great big kick in the functionals as a way of saying, thanks, Daddy.
So beautiful.
I'd be kind of furious if I were Latha. Yeah, she's just the spare one, so he dumped her in the orphanage. Oh, I mean, his argument, let's think about this. I had confidence that the city and Central would raise you to the ideal of humanity, but he made sure that Galatea had the best of everything, so she'd be the ideal caretaker. Like, I don't know, Vargas. Your argument is not the most compelling. It sounds more like you only felt like taking the time and the effort to raise one, so you just tossed the other in the orphanage where it was easier and more convenient for you.
So...
Yeah, that is really creepy. Okay. But it was an interesting conversation to have. So. What are we going to do here, Latha? I don't think there's going to be anything for her to scavenge off it, right? Like, you wouldn't really want to. No. Okay. What can she do about this? Maybe she needs to interface with Central, and there's something she'll be able to do.
I can't reach
from the cameras. All right. I feel like we've got to be getting close to the end, but there's still some puzzles. I'm not sure how we're going to get through this tower. So I'm going to go ahead and wind the episode down here. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Come on back, and next time, I think I am going to put Latha back interfacing with Central. I feel like that's where no one else is willing to do it, so I think that's where she needs to be in all this. We'll leave Regis here for the moment so he can interact with this room if we need to, in conjunction with her. And then ultimately, to get the door open, we'll need... I'm hoping this will be like a permanent fix, so then we'll have Latha in the chair. One of them can hit the power source down in the room that Latha will be in, and then the other will enter the main room. That's my plan.